Here we are. Technology. I don't know. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. I was trying to also go live in the A Plus vendor event that I am in, and it would not connect over. And I kept trying, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to have you all wait any longer. I've invited them over here to Junebug Creations to check out this live because for some reason Facebook is not allowing me to go live. So let me just put a little lotion on my hands because it's so dry with the winter. How is everybody? I am doing good. It's nice and sunshiny today, but it's still, I think, single digits. Oh no, we're in the teens. It's 17 degrees here. So it's sunny and not really what I would call warm, but it feels good in the sunshine. You can feel the sun soak up a little bit. I got a little bit of sun when I was throwing the frisbee for Millie. So welcome, welcome. And today is Thursday. So Paper Pumpkin Playdate has now changed to Thursdays at 1:30, barring all the problems I had with the technology. So we'll have to just make it work in the future, and we'll focus on what we do here, and that is craft with paper. So let's go ahead and switch screens. I have here a Paper Pumpkin. It is a subscription kit, and you get it in your mailbox. And this is the January 2025 Hearts for You. Of course, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, so if you haven't done your Valentines, then here are two or three ideas. If you don't have this kit, you can still use the fun fold that I'm going to show you, and you can still make a card with whatever supplies you do have. It doesn't have to be with the Paper Pumpkin, so just keep that in mind. It does not have to be with the Paper Pumpkin kit. But today we are going to, and because it's a kit, that means it is all inclusive. That means everything in the kit works together. All you have to do is add a pair of scissors. So when we first got the kit, we saw when you get your first kit, you get a block to put your stamps on, and then we got these stamps, and we got a real red ink spot. All right, Stampin' Spot, and these work so well together. If you don't want to have a ton of supplies cluttering up a whole room, if you're not like me wanting all that, then these are perfect to collect, and you can keep them in one of your empty Paper Pumpkin boxes, and that way it stays together. And I recommend you put this with it, or keep your stamps in one box, one empty box, and with your block, and then your ink spots in another one as you build and collect. All right, so we need the stamps, but I'm going to be using my ergonomic blocks. You can see they're a little bit easier to use. They're a little bit thicker, and they have this little groove in here, which makes it easier for me to grab. Plus, with my long nails, it's easier to use than this one. All right, but I do have friends who get other kits, and then they glue these together, and that way they have a thicker block to use. All right, and this just shows you what stamp set, oh, I guess I put that the wrong way. It shows you what stamps are in there. So you have my heart, you, love, 2 hearts, 1 outline, 1 filled in, this little branch, celebrate love, you're my favorite. All right, and then we have our no fail instructions. These are the best instructions. They used to be black and white and just have a few pictures and words, and you didn't really know what went where, and now they have them full color, and they are awesome. So there were 3 different designs, 3 of each design. On this first page you have your ingredients. So for card 1 you need to gather up these, for card 2 these, for card 3 this. And I love how they lay this out. It makes it so simple, no guessing games. You see everything right here. And then we have our cards. All right, so we have card 1, card 2, and card 3, and it's just arrows, and arrows and pictures, so that you know exactly where everything goes. So these were the cards as designed. Aren't they so pretty? I love these cards. They're so pretty. All right. Here we go. And I tend to use these cards for next year because it's too late for me to mail them out for tomorrow because I still want to show them to you. So next year people will get these. They're always a year behind. So, and then we have this one right here. All right, and then I did some alternates last week. And so I did this design. You can do this design going this way if I had turned it that way, or you can do it this way. And today I'm going to show you another way because I talked about it last week that we could cut it this way. So I'm going to show you another way of doing this type of design. And you can do this with anything. I've done this with multiple different, let me show you one. I've done it with this. So this was the original way that I did it, and I learned it from Connie Stewart. And then I turned it on its side. And then today I'm going to show you how to do it on a landscape card. All right, from the get-go. So there's that one. And then I did another quick fun fold like this. And this was just using a regular card base and scoring it at 1 1/4. All right, and so that just gave it a different sort of look. So it's just regular card base, nothing fancy, something quick and easy. And again, you can do it with any paper and stamps and die cuts that you have. You can use anything for it. It doesn't have to be that. So we have more paper in here. So let's go ahead and see what we have. We have some envelopes. All right, we have some card bases. It comes with the glue dots and Stampin' Dimensionals. Set those aside. We have some bling left over. And I think I forgot to add this last week, so I added it later. I put a little bit of the bling here and here on that one. And then on this one, I added just one little heart down here. Forgot to do that last week, the bling. For some reason, I know some of you are total bling people. Hi, Missy. Some of you are total bling people, and I tend to forget the bling. I'm not sure why that is. I guess I'm just not a total bling person. All right, so let's go ahead and do, I wanted to do an alternate with all these hearts. So we're going to pull out this card base here, and we're going to make a bit of a mess. I know Missy's like, oh yeah, she always says she's making a mess, and then it's not much of a mess. It's going to be a bit of a mess. So I made sure to get my chamois, well, my chamois is all wet, but I also, the cloth that goes with this board, this glass mat. So you have two options when you're crafting. You can get the glass mat, which allows you to just wipe things clean, and it allows you to cut on it, and you can do all kinds of things on it. But it is glass, and it's, I think it's around $30. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember exactly. But so the glass mat is great. There's lots of versatility to it. It also comes with this, which I may or may not use today. Haven't decided. It's a silicone mat. And then there's the grid paper. And I showed you this the other day when I did an unboxing. The grid paper is awesome because you can lay that out and it catches all your mess. But today, since I am using the glass mat, I'm going to go ahead and use my chamois cloth that comes with it. So you get the chamois cloth and you get the silicone mat and you get the glass mat all together. And then I always put it in a clear container, a clear case. All right, I don't know what that is, but I put it in a clear case. So today we're going to do this. We're going to pop all these hearts out. So this is a variation. This will be a variation on this card. All right, a variation. This is a lot of white to me, so we're going to change that up and bring in a little bit of color. All right, come on. So, but we got to pop out all those hearts, right? So, actually, I probably should have left, maybe I'll leave them in. I'm going to leave that one in, or maybe I'll take that one out. I'm going to take all the sentiment pieces out. We'll pop this one out. since there were only 3 in here. And then set that aside. And then we're going to need 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you know what? I'm just going to put these aside. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll leave those in here, and we're going to pop out all these other things so they don't get messed up. Because we are going to make a little bit of a mess. Do you believe me, Missy? You might have an inkling of what I'm going to do because I talked about doing it as a suggestion during our virtual retreat last week. Was that only last Saturday? That was just last Saturday. That was so much fun. I loved crafting with you girls. I got a lot done, plus we just had a ton of fun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our next one will be in May, and I'll get that information out. I think we're going to go with the papers, pattern papers and picnic theme, because I think I can do a lot of cool things with that. All right, so we're going to take this, and we're not going to do anything to this. We're going to take our Flirty Flamingo. All right, Flirty Flamingo, and I think I'm going to get the, I think I'm going to use this just to show people how, and get the ink drop. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to turn that way. And, ooh, I don't think I've opened this. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. There's one on the outside. There we go. All right, so here we go. We're going to make this mess. I'm going to bring this over here a little bit. I have a water painter, and I want to dip some water, get some water to come out in there. All right, like this. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do this like that. Then I'm going to take these. Hold on, I got to make sure everything's out of the way, because this really does make a mess, and we're going to spatter. And so I want to make sure not to get anything on other stuff that I don't want spattered. So we're going to move that stuff out of the way, and we're going to do a little bit of spattering. So my favorite way to do this spattering, so hold on, let me zoom in for you a little bit. Here we go. My favorite way is get this pretty wet, and then I have my finger, and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. All right, come on. There we go. Tap, 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 tap. And I like to just tap it, and that just gives it spots. Okay, and you can see it's getting spots everywhere. Not always where I want them. All right, let's do a little bit more. There we go. Got some big blotches on there, but that's okay. We're just using the Flirty Flamingo and doing a little bit of spattering. All right, there we go. Okay, so then what we can do is we can use this and our water, squeeze it, and help clean it. Normally what you can do is just wipe it on the paper, but since I don't have paper, I'm going to use that silicone mat. See, and then this just wipes clean. I'm going to set that aside to dry, and then I can just show you. To clean it, you're squeezing on the water, and it's getting less and less, and look, the brush is getting lighter and lighter. Ooh, I like this. This might become a new favorite. Whew. And there, it's clean. All right, it's clean. No more pink. All right, let's set that aside. I'm going to set this aside. I'll put that behind me on my chair because I'm not going to be sitting down anyways. All right, and then wipe that clean so we don't get all the spatters on the things we don't want them on. All right, blow it off. Oh, wow, I can see how fast it's drying. It's drying super duper fast. All right, so there, now we have our spattered hearts. Instead of all those solid white hearts, we now have spattered hearts. Isn't that fun? So did I make enough of a mess for you, Missy? I know you like it when I try and do a mess. I'm not always into messes. So now we're going to take this out and we'll just set it down. I think it's better to keep it in here. I think that helped make less of a mess because most of the excess got caught on the paper instead of on the glass mat. There was a little bit on the glass mat, and that's okay. And then of course on the silicone mat, it will just run it under water and it will be gone. All right, just like washing out that cloth, I'll just run it under water. It's water-based ink, so it will go away. I'm loving these spatters. They look really cool. They look really cool. So, all right. So let's do this. And you could use multiple colors. You could use different colors. You could use gold. I think I had talked about, because I have gold over here, I talked about seeing if I could make this a little bit less thick, but that turned out to be, yeah, that didn't work so well. All right, so now we have these. Let's bring back our white card base. All right, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. So now we want to flip them over. You can see where some of it was a little wetter than others and it bled through, but no one's going to see the back, so that's okay. Let's get some dimensionals. Here we go. All right, so, I'm going to use minis actually. So we have a mini there, and I'm going to do it every other heart. Although making sure I have one on each end, so maybe that's not actually every other. Close enough. All right. So we're going to do each end. There we go. All right. So does anyone have any special plans for Valentine's Day? We started to make plans, but then discovered that all the restaurants were, or the restaurant we wanted to go to was booked. So we are going to postpone. It was also my husband's birthday yesterday, so we tend to kind of double up for him. But yeah, everything's kind of full, and then he went out of town for his job. So I might be making a special dinner for him at home instead of going out. If he's back, we don't know when he'll be back, so it just depends on when the railroad brings the man home. All right, so just laying out these. And I'm using more dimensionals than they called for, just because I'm using the smaller ones instead of the bigger ones. And they tend to be a little more wobbly because they are smaller. So that's why I am doing more than what they did. They did 3, I think, on each. But since I'm using the small ones, I'm doing 4 on each. Am I doing 4? I guess I'm doing 5 on each. I'm kind of doing from the outside in, and then 1 in the center there. All right, so now we got to take off all those. That's the only thing with these, is we got to take them off. All right, but I love the spatter look. All right, so we'll set this one down here. So obviously, if you didn't get this kit, then this is not a card that you could make unless you have some sort of a punch or die that does a row of hearts. Then you could make some white ones. I'm going to do this one at the top, like that. So you could do a row of hearts in white and then spatter it with the ink. If you don't have a water painter, you can just use a paintbrush. That's what we used before before they came out with the water painters. We just used a paintbrush to do the spattering. You can also use a toothbrush to do the spattering, and just use your fingernail to, I'm turned. You can use a fingernail across the top of the toothbrush to make it spatter. But just know you'll want to put it like in a shoebox or something, because it will be a lot more. It will be a lot more, what do we say? A lot messier. It'll be a lot messier when you use a toothbrush to spatter the ink, because it's going to spray more than just tapping. So if you don't have a water painter, remember this is the water painter where there's water in here, and then you have the brush and you squeeze and the water comes through. So if you don't have a water painter, you can just use a regular paintbrush, get it sopping wet. Or you can use a toothbrush, dip it in the ink, and then spray it by running your finger on it, but just know that that will spray far and wide, so having it in a box is always a good idea. All right. I'm wondering if I put something a little too close. That looks like it's going to be a little close together. I guess I could have just used 5 rows and spaced them out a little bit more. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's pretty close together. All right, so I haven't really set any of them down, haven't pushed on any of them. So we'll bring that a little bit down, and that will help this one fit in here. So now instead of a lot of white hearts, you have a lot of speckled hearts. All right, and then we can use the same hearts if you want. Let's see, do we want to use the same hearts? So this is what they have on it, but I'm thinking we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go with this because it matches so nicely. And then I think we're going to use this and maybe this one. All right. And we're going to forego the red and the love on here this time. All right. So we're going to do this right there. And let's see, we will use one of these outlines here, like that. All right, so we got to put a little bit of glue on the back, and you could use the glue dots. I'm just going to use some glue, and it'll hit wherever it hits. There we go. And then this one I'm going to put on dimensionals. There we go. Like that. So we're just doing some flirty flamingo on this one. All right, like that. And then we'll get our flirty flamingo ink and a stamp. All right, and where's my sentiment piece? I tossed them in here. Here they are. All right, we're going to use this sentiment piece and stamp it with the Celebrate Love. All right, like this. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Now with this, you want to go gentle. When you're using the ink spot, you want to have your stamp up this way and ink it like that. All right, here we go. Celebrate love. All right. And we're going to put a dimensional over here on this side, like that. All right. So, anybody, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? What is your traditional plan, or what do you have planned this time around? All right, so there we go. We just have a Flirty Flamingo card with our Flirty Flamingo spatters, and then our gold and our Flirty Flamingo marbled heart. No red on this one this time. No red, just Flirty Flamingo, because you like to be a flirt, right? Let's flirt. All right, so I would probably put this in one of our white envelopes instead of in the red envelope. Oh, there we go. We got to open up. We got to open up a new one, a new package. So there are 40 envelopes in a package. That's really quite a lot. It doesn't look like a lot, but it really is quite a lot. So here we go. And then what I want to do is I want to stamp in the Flirty Flamingo some hearts along the side. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this back. And we're going to do some hearts over here. Let's get out our blocks and our stamps. We'll do some hearts. And we'll just ink that up like that, like that. And then I'm just going to put those right inside. And I'm lining up the centers. All right, just like that, just to give it a little something. Woo! Ooh, did you see that? I caught that. Woohoo! All right, so here we have our Flirty Flamingo heart card. Spattered, made a mess, cleaned it up quick and easy, and then added some hearts, some dimensionals to give it a little more lift. You can see there's a little more lift there, but it still is flat enough to go through the postage to where it shouldn't be extra. But I don't know, I might give this one to my husband. I haven't decided. I haven't decided. All right, let's do another card. We have, where do I have it? All right, so last week when I was doing this card, we talked about whether or not it could go this way. So I did that. And I started it, but I did not finish it. All right, so I just did this. So this is cut 3/4 of an inch shorter than normal. All right, and then we're going to just pull this down here. And so we can do this same cut, the same style. All right, but we're turning it now this way. We're turning it landscape. You could do it this way, but I kind of like this one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it this way. And I'm going to bring in from here, we're going to bring in, no, see, now this one would look pretty cool that way. That would look pretty cool, but we're not doing that one today. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the 2 hearts. We're going to use both hearts. And no, I forgot to call them and ask them about a heart. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's use this. Is that the right shaped heart? No, that's a little bit of a different shaped heart. Is it the right shaped heart and size for this? It's the right shape, but it's too small. All right, so I think we used this last week, so I'm not going to use that this week. We'll just go ahead with these. And then I want to, so we're going to do this here like this. All right, I'm going to use just a little tick mark from a pencil right there, because then what I want to do is I'm going to do, nope, that's not really going to work. Never mind. If I don't get my kit by next week, we can do an anniversary card with that, and we're going to use these as stencils. All right, and these as stencils. So if I don't get my kit, which sometimes happens. All right, but first what we are going to do is we're going to run the front of this card through the Starstruck. Is it the Starstruck? Oh no, because that does have, I was thinking that had hearts, but those are stars, so we're not going to use the Starstruck. We're going to use, let's see, let's see, which one should we use? Whoops. All right, here we go. We're going to use the favorite. We're going to use this one, the exposed brick. All right, this has become my favorite one. All right, so we're going to do it this way, like this. And then we're going to put this right here. It can be close, it doesn't matter, because we're pulling it apart, so it doesn't really matter. All right, need to put that in there. So you want to make sure your fold is right along this edge. We need our plate 1 and plate 4. So we're going to lay that in there. Put this plate on top, which you can't see, can you? Because I've got it so zoomed in and not forward enough. All right, so now we're going to run this through. Here we go. Run this through and get this out of the way. I'm going to move this out of the way. I move this one out of the way, and then, ta-da! We have our exposed brick. Super duper favorite, absolute favorite. All right, look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? Ooh, you can't see that. Why can't you see that? Don't know if it's my lighting. Can you see that? Huh, what is wrong with the lighting? Can you see that? It almost looks too bright. There you go. Now you can see it a little better. Not sure what the deal is with that. I do have the sun shining in that window, but not directly. There we go. Wow, I'm so sorry. I don't know why that's not showing. And the paper does look a lot more orange on the screen than it does in person. So I already put my white inside because it makes it easier to work with. We're going to go ahead and double up, but I'm going to offset them because, you know, I just like wonky. You know me, wonky wonky. So everybody say wonky because June likes things wonky. All right, there we go. And then we are, oh, I did a wonky over here too. See, I'm a creature of habit, but I'm not going to put the love this time. So let's go ahead. We got to measure that. We got to line this up with the bottom. All right. And then like this, and then we're going to put this on here. And I'm going to actually use dimensionals this time. So we're going to do across the top. Here we go. We're going to do across the top some dimensionals. I'm going to do 4 dimensionals across the top, and then we're going to do some down here. All right, we'll do 3 dimensionals down here. Maybe we'll do 4. And that way they are sure to stick. All right, so we're going to do it a little different. I haven't done dimensionals before. I've just glued it straight down. I was glancing over to see if my other card shows dimensionals. So we're going to do that. Again, I'm going to kind of do that to make sure it's all lined up on the bottom. I don't know why I do this and then my thumb moves it anyways. So, all right. So now, oh, see? I wonder what I could do to hold it still. Ooh, you know what? Maybe we could use some paper clips. Let's try that. Let's do a couple paper clips, because it seems like my thumb invariably moves it. So I'm going to do a paper clip here and a paper clip here. There. That works. All right. And now, there. Now we have our paper clip out and it holds it together. Ooh, just almost missed that edge. All right, but I didn't. All right, almost. Maybe I sort of did. All right, that's okay. It's not sticking to behind, so it's okay. I like that. I like that look a lot. All right, and I love that we did the embossing folder on it instead of, wow, I'm not sure why that light's like that. All right. There we go. You can kind of see it. This is real red, not the bright orangey red that you see on the screen, or at least, and maybe it's just my camera that's showing it looking like that. I don't know. All right, let's see about another heart. We'll do another heart here in the center. Oh, that's a little too straight. Let's do one this way instead. And we need our sentiment. All right, so what do we have? We have love you. We haven't used this one, so let's do that. What do we have? We have love. Does it fit on here? No, it does not. All right, what else do we have for sentiment pieces? We have these larger ones. That might be too large, although we could put it then over here. Here, I've got an idea. Let's see how this works. We're going to do love. Let's make sure it fits on there. Just. All right. Block, 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 block. All right. Let's see. Let me grab another small block from over here because it's easier to stamp with that. We're going to use real red, and here we go. I think we're going to do this love in the middle, and then I need to clean it. I just changed my mind. I was going to do love, love, but I don't think it's going to fit 3 times. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we could do. I know what we can do, because we're going to stamp it off. We should have done the stamped off ones first, but that's okay. We're going to use, see how I am? I just change it up in the middle of things. I get one idea and then I go with another one. So we're going to do love. And love. But that love sticks out way more. All right, see, so what I should have done was I should have done the 2 stamp offs of the Flirty Flamingo, which don't look Flirty Flamingo in my camera to me, but they might look like it to you. And then the love in the bold red. All right, love, love, love. All right, so do we want that over here? Want that over here? Ooh, help me out. Where do we want this? I kind of didn't want to cover the tips of that, but if we do that, Ooh. Or do we put it on the inside? We could just put it inside, on the inside. Here, let's see. Where would we have to put it so it wouldn't be seen? See, it would be seen there. So you'd have to put it up here. Love, love, love. Help me out. I see a few of you on here. Help me out. I'm kind of leaning down towards here. I don't want it all the way down, but right there might work. We could lift this up. Let's see if it will lift. There we go. Could lift that up. There we go. Okay, got it. All right, I got it. I got it. Where's my scissors? Oh, that's an actual. All right, so we want this over here, and we want this one over here. And then we want some glue on the other side so that it stays down. All right, and we're going to tuck it right here. There we go. Oh, that got a little wonky. There we go. Let's lift that back up. All right, come on. All right, that got messed up, so I'm just going to grab another one because we have a lot of them. Here we go. Oh, do we have? We don't have a lot of them. All right, let's see. Nope, that's a little wonky now. So, all right, I guess we will use this one instead. That works too. All right, there we go. All right, so love, love, love. And then on the inside, we could say, where's our stamps? We could say, you have my heart. All right, here we go. Let's grab another block. You have my heart. We're going to do that in the real red. Nope, we're going to do that in the flirty flamingo. Am I driving you crazy going with two different things constantly? You have my heart. And then we'll do in real red, we'll do this heart. I'm going to stamp off over here a few times. Here we go. You have my heart. There we go. And then with the other one, I'm going to just stamp like that. All right. Because that is covered. So everything is covered. You want to make sure that you don't put anything in that white space here so it doesn't show. So love, 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 you have my heart. And then the two hearts. So I think this is going to be my husband's Valentine tomorrow. I wasn't sure which one I was going to give him. I knew I could give him one of these because he's local. I don't have to email it, or I don't have to mail it, snail mail it. So there we go. Love, love, love. You have my heart. All right. So that is that card. So it started off this way, with the slit this way, and then I did it this way, and then we did it this way. So many different options that you can do just with this one fun fold and having that little slit. And just so you know, this is 3/4 of an inch shorter. So when you have it folded, you're going to cut off a 3/4 of an inch, or start off with 10 1/4 inches long instead of the usual 11 inches long. So these were our alternates today. All right, there we go. Oh, here's our envelope for this one. And you can see though it's two different whites. I know. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use this one for this. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. I trust that you got some ideas of something you could do for a quick Valentine if you are still in need of one. If you're not and you're on the ball, then kudos to you. I wish I was more on the ball myself. So take care, and I will see you next week on Thursday at 1:30 for Paper Pumpkin Playdate. Have a good day. Bye-bye.